Larry Kudlow appearing right here on Varney last week. Take a look at what he said about the economy. Roll tape.
We're at 3.7 unemployment rate. That's awful good number. And across the board, the so-called minority unemployment rates are coming way down. We're going back to the 80s in terms of blue-collar workers. You got to add in average hours worked, which are rising beautifully. That is a tremendous inducement to work and indicates strength of the economy.
Joining me now, Grover Norquist, the American for Tax Reform president. All right, Grover, are voters starting to feel this way too, you think?
Well, you're certainly seeing it in people's optimism. If you ask them how the economy is doing, how they're looking forward, people recognize that the economy is doing better. They may not quite say it was the tax cut and deregulation, although there's a fair amount of understanding of that. Good news is people are feeling better, more optimistic. They think the country is moving in the right direction. That's good for the party in power, and we'll see how it moves the votes.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to deny. I know with the Michigan sentiment number, they break it down in the economic brackets into three categories, and the lower third had a surge, and a historic surge in optimism. So it's interesting that even lower parts of the income strata are starting to feel so much more optimistic.
Well, look at the zero number. About 75% plus of the people who don't have a job feel comfortable that they will get one within the next year. That is extremely helpful optimism. And that on the income base, those are the people at zero. They're not low income. They're at zero right now because they don't have a job. But 80% think they're 80% think that in the next year they should be okay. They sense movement around them.
What do you make of that, though, Grover? Because I've always felt that no matter what your economic thesis was, is that the key component is that people have to believe. In other words, it could become self-fulfilling. How critical is it, politics aside, that Americans continue to buy into this recovery?
Well, I think it's important. If you believe there are jobs out there, then you're looking. And that's sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're looking, the chances of getting a job are greater than if you just assume, because the press is depressing you and the media says there aren't any jobs, you stay home. People are out looking. And they have friends who they see getting jobs or siblings. This is extremely helpful. It's building on itself. People have seen what's happened to their 401ks and their life savings moving up, the value of their homes. This is on all fronts. It's moving forward. And this is early in the tax cut. I mean, there is a whole bunch of benefits that flow from the more capital expenditures that companies are making. That tells you that higher incomes and higher productivity are just behind that wave.
And there's still perhaps a lot more money to come in from overseas also, right? I mean, we've gotten hundreds of billions, but it could be in the trillions.
Yeah, we've got about $500 billion so far this year, expected to see another trillion over the next year or two. It's a lot of money. It also doesn't matter right now whether it comes back. What Apple told us was we had $250 billion. They brought, I think, $90 billion of it back. But they said, you know what? We're going to bring it all back eventually. But we're no longer reporting whether it's in a bank or London or in Tennessee because we can move it easily. The tax barrier that existed before the Republican tax cut is gone. The dollars can sit in a bank in London and can move to the United States in 5 minutes when it's needed. It's not locked overseas anymore.
Right.
So how much of it comes back is actually less important than that's all available to come back.
Grover, how critical is Tax Cuts 2.0?
Tax Cuts 2.0 is important for two reasons. One is a fine tax cut in and of itself, good tax reform, pro-savings, pro-investment, very helpful to small businesses. But more important than that, it's the Republican Party and President Trump reminding the American people something they've said before, but this is in real form. It says every year that there's a Republican House, Senate, and President, we will have a tax cut that reforms taxes down every single year. So this is next year's tax cut. We've already had two tax cuts, 2017, the big one, $30 billion early in 2018. Right. Every single year there'll be a tax cut. A good reason to remember to vote for House and Senate candidates this November.
Well, let's stick with politics here for a moment. Brett Kavanaugh, his confirmation hearing obviously contentious, but he's a Supreme Court justice now. The pushback from Democrats. What does this mean for the overall growth agenda if they were indeed able to seize control of the House and or the Senate?
Well, Kavanaugh and a Supreme Court that reads the Constitution and calls the shots from the Constitution rather than playing politics, will move us in a very positive direction. So Kavanaugh getting in at the Supreme Court means property rights are more secure, means that the regulators can no longer make up new regulations. If Congress wants to have regulation, they can vote on it, but they can't just go around with some bureaucrat making these decisions. Right. It's going to be, and labor law, which was structured to help fund the modern Democratic Party and create labor unions that they force people to join, force them to pay union dues, and then tell them they have no say in how that money gets spent. That has begun to change with the Janus case, which says government workers. Okay, but there are a series of other obvious cases down the road that will stop labor unions from being the piggy banks for the modern Democratic Party. They're going to have to go back to Bloomberg and billionaires. They can't steal it from working people anymore.
All right, Roman Norquist, always a pleasure. Thank you.
You got it.